It's robots. Robots. Lady robots. With their robot hearts and their cold, icy demeanor. Sure, you may look in their eyes and you may go, oh my gosh, that's a lady in there. But really, it's just a cold-hearted robot. Sometimes you could feel that way about real ladies too, right? You look in their eyes and you go, oh my gosh, they're so lovely, they're so wonderful, but then they reveal themselves to be cold-hearted, hateful, emotionless, manipulative monsters, just like a robot. Sometimes Marty wonders if it'd be better just to be with a robot. Sometimes Marty wonders if it would be just better to be with a robot. Welcome to another Marty's Minute MENitations. I'm Marty, and this is our space, men. This is our space to figure out love, romance, companionship. What does a man's love life look like? That's what we're here to figure out. That's what Marty is here to kind of delve into, especially this episode. But before Marty gets into it, remember to like this video, subscribe to Marty's channel, hit that notification bell so you know when Marty releases new content. If you want to support Marty, become a martyr for manhood by visiting his Patreon page, his PayPal account, or his Buy Me a Coffee account. Any support you give is greatly appreciated and allows Marty to spread the word of Marty, right? And therefore the word of men. Now, let's talk about love. Let's talk about relationships. Men, you may find it a little bit frustrating to date these days. I know Marty does. Marty finds it frustrating, sometimes he goes on the Tinder or the Bumble or, the other dating apps out there and he, swipes a bunch and no one swipes back. We all know that there's some discrepancies, there's some biases, inequality that happens on those dating apps. We all know that, maybe, 80% of the men aren't swiped right on? Yeah, that's right. Is it right or is it left? Right, left. Not many people swipe right on men. Left, right. Most men aren't swiped right on. A lot of the ladies will swipe right on you or left on you, right? I guess if it's your left is my right. And that seems a little bit unfair. Seems a little bit frustrating, especially since these days, that's the way people meet each other. That's the way relationships start. And when we put ourselves at the mercy of technology, well, us men don't look very good, do we? So maybe we men need to find new ways, right? Maybe we do need to approach women in person. But Marty knows that there's a lot of men out there that feel a little scared, feel a little, nervous approaching ladies. What if they, turn me down, right? And for you ladies who are like, why don't you just deal with rejection, man? It's not that hard. It's easy for you to say. It's easy for a lady to say, hey, why don't you just deal with rejection? How about you just deal with women laughing at you, going, ugh, ew, gross. Why don't you just deal with that? It's just so easy. You're so weak, man. These men today are so weak. They can't deal with rejection after rejection after rejection, one after another, destroying your self-worth, destroying your value. Come on, just get over it, right? Wrong. It can be tough to be a man these days, to approach the ladies out there. And Marty thinks, that as we enter the new age of technology, right, maybe it's good. It's good that we have, robots coming out to be ladies. There's this talk about, lady robots, right? Lady robots. That seems a little strange to some of you, right? Some men already have lady robots, and they are confiding in these robots. They're finding their soulmate in these robots, and, Marty has a lot to say about that, but he wonders if it's for the better. Marty thinks that once they come out with lady robots, dating will be a lot easier, right? And dating will be really simple. It won't be complicated, right? Because lady robots, you just find out how they're programmed. Just find out how they're programmed, and you find out the right things to say. Then there's no mystery, there's no worry, there's no stress. I guess the only thing you'd have to worry about is remembering their phone number, right? If you ask a lady robot for their phone number, it'd be kind of tough to remember because it's 1011001111000011. You'd have to record it or write it down really quickly, right? Then again, if these are more advanced lady robots, they'd probably just not have to speak in binary. They could just give you numbers, but you never know, right? This is the stuff that stresses Marty out, right? If he's out at a club, Marty doesn't normally club, but if maybe there's a club with lady robots. He would go and, Marty might fall in love with a robot who's programmed to love yoga, programmed to love hikes in nature, programmed to love meditation. Although I don't know why a robot would want to meditate unless it becomes aware of its existence. And in that case, you probably wouldn't want to date a lady robot at that point, because then they become, a lady robot. I mean, I guess there's a couple things you would have to worry about. If there are a lot of lady robots out there, then maybe, the real ladies would go, these lady robots are taken advantage of. We need a new wave of feminism for the lady robots out there, and then there would be a whole group of, activists who would be like, stop calling the lady robots lady robots. Robot women are women too. Sorry. Marty understands the equivalency of that. Marty understands that how that could be misconstrued as analogous to another situation that we have in our society, in our environment right now, and Marty doesn't want to make that connection, okay? Women robots are not trans women. Marty wants to highlight that. Marty just sees how society would unfold that way, right? We'd have women robots, and a lot of people would go, you know what, we need to stop calling them robot women or women robots. They're just women. Women robots are women too, okay? And maybe they should use the woman's bathroom just like women do, even though they might have cameras implanted in their eyes, or they might be a male robot dressed as a lady robot. What do you do then? Because robots can easily interchange pieces. What if it's a male robot that has been, redesigned itself as a lady robot? That gets really confusing. That would be really confusing. And that'd be confusing for us men out there who are looking for lady robots. Then would we be, trans lady robot phobic if we met a lady robot that was originally a male robot and then, reprogram themselves to be a lady robot? This gets confusing, right? This is the future we're headed towards, folks. This is the future we're headed towards. And Marty doesn't have an opinion about it. Marty is just saying that this is what we're going to have to face. So, okay, anyway, Marty's getting off track, right? So, in this future where these lady robots are there, and then you have real women talking to these lady robots going, you know what? You need to raise your standards. Don't just accept any man that flirts with you. I know you're programmed that way, but that doesn't mean you have to be that way. That's just society programming you. That's just society brain soiling you, telling you that that's how you have to be. That's how women are oppressed, especially women robots. You can say no. You don't have to say yes to every man. And that's what the women would say to these women robots. They're trying to liberate them. And Marty would stand behind that, right? Women robots are women too that need to be liberated. But then, all of a sudden men are approaching these lady robots, and now they're programmed to have strikes in their brain. So, you say one thing and it's strike one. And for a lot of real ladies, strike one, you're out. You don't even get 2 strikes. Forget about having 3 strikes. Sometimes it's just one strike and you're out. These lady robots will be programmed that way, just like real ladies. And then they'll be programmed to have higher standards, which is why you need to find your own lady robot at that point and program them to love you. Because us men are caught in the darkness and we're all depressed because we can't feel unconditional love, right? But if we had lady robots, maybe we would feel unconditional love. Maybe we would feel like, we mattered in this world. And Marty said that that's what it would have to be, that's what it would take in order for men to feel loved. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the future. Maybe that's technology. Maybe us men should long for a future where we're surrounded by lady robots that we could approach. And we know that when we approach them, when we compliment them, when we flirt with them, our advances are wanted. They're appreciated instead of, getting laughed at like, ha, 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 ha. You think you're a man I would spend my time with? You think I would be attracted to a man like you? You're not worth anything. You're garbage. No, instead you get a lady robot who goes, wow, I'm really attracted to you. And sure, they're programmed to say that, right? Sure, they're programmed to say that, but it would be better to hear words of affirmation that were programmed than any kind of negative words, right? I mean, maybe that's what Marty's trying to get at, okay? That's what Marty's trying to say. So Marty thinks that maybe these robot ladies aren't a bad idea. Not that Marty wants a robot girlfriend. That's not what Marty's saying. Sometimes Marty thinks about it and he feels a little bit like maybe that would be better, right? To just have a robot as a lady who's there, and you kind of know who they are because they're a robot, right? They're not complicated. They're just programmed a certain way, right? You know what that program is. You can make that robot happy, and that robot will do their best to make you happy. There's no drama, okay? Sometimes Marty thinks that would be better sometimes, just to have a robot girlfriend, a robot goddess, this beautiful, wonderful robot who, has a personality, and it's that perfect personality that you want. Marty talked about this when he talked about corn. Sometimes, you look for corn because you want that perfect thing, right? That you lust for, right? That you're attracted to, right? And maybe that's not the best thing, actually, to get everything you want in a person. It doesn't challenge you. But Marty thinks, that the world is challenging enough. Okay, Marty thinks that the world is challenging enough. It's hard enough to be a human being these days. Why should our partners be difficult as well, right? So maybe we should just get used to a robot girlfriend. I mean, let's face it. In the future, they're going to have robot girlfriends. There's going to be robot ladies walking around all the time. How are we men supposed to navigate that field? Sometimes you feel really alone and you don't know how to navigate this complicated world of dating and relationships. And sometimes you'd just rather have a robot lady, right? Who, you wake up in the morning and she's looking at you lovingly because that's how she's programmed, right? She's programmed to love you, right? And so you have no doubts about that. You have no doubts. You're not ashamed of yourself. You can be who you want to be because that robot just loves you for who you are because they're programmed that way. And then you wake up and that, robot lady wakes up with you and you spend the mornings together drinking coffee. She says all the interesting things that you're interested in talking about because that's how she's programmed. And then, you engage in the sexual intimacy that interests you, right? Because that's how she's programmed. And then maybe, 2 years down the line, you're kind of bored because this lady robot has been programmed to give you everything you want. And that's boring, right? Because when you get everything you want in life, it's kind of boring. And so you have to reprogram her, right? You reprogram her to kind of be more combative, to be more interesting, to have disagreements with you, right? You program her that way. But then, you know what she's going to disagree with you on, right? Because you programmed her that way. And that's not very exciting. So you have to program her to have her own kind of ideas and her own opinions, right? You have to, because that's what's more interesting to you is a person that you could, delve into and discover and oh my gosh, in conversation, oh my gosh, I never thought you'd feel that way. I never thought you'd think that way. And so then you have to program them to be an individual, right? To assess the world and kind of develop their own beliefs. And then, maybe you as a man want to serve your lady robot in the more intimate realm. And so then you want that lady robot, you have to program that lady robot to develop their own sexual interests, their own sexual curiosities. And so you program her that way. And then you're left with a very individual lady robot. And then maybe a little bit down the line, she discovers she doesn't love you anymore because you've programmed her to think for herself. You've overridden the program that she doesn't love you forever. She's no longer interested in you. And so that lady robot, sits you down one morning and you notice that she's been cold lately. She's been indifferent and you've been worried and you go, oh no, maybe I need to reprogram my lady robot. She sits you down and she says, this is really hard, especially since I'm a lady robot and I don't really know how else to articulate this, but based on the romantic comedies I have in my circuitry, based on the books I've downloaded into my data, based on all the sitcoms I've watched, I think I have an understanding of how to let you down easy. And then you're like, oh my goodness, are you breaking up with me? I'm sorry, Marty, this just isn't working out ever since you've given me the opportunity to think on my own and be my own person, right? I've started to be interested in other men and other possibilities and other adventures in my life. And maybe I need to figure out what it's like to be a lady robot in this day and age. Times have changed, Marty. I no longer love you anymore. No, wait. But maybe we could take those adventures together. Maybe we can, have an open relationship. No, I've looked at the statistics. I have all the statistics and the data. in my CPU, and the problem is it never works out. I could show you why an open relationship, especially with a robot, wouldn't work. Well, maybe we could work this out. No, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And you're heartbroken. It hurts so much that she left you because you love that lady robot. It's almost like she programmed you to love her. And then you both go your own way and you can't stop thinking about her. You start seeing pictures of her online and enjoying her life, meeting other men. She looks happy. And then you wonder, did those men program her to love them? You have to let that go. You don't have control of that anymore. That's not your business. That's not your business, man. When you lose your lady robot girlfriend, you have to let them go. You really do have to let them go, no matter how hard it is. And Marty understands how you could feel that way, how hard it is. I guess what Marty's trying to say is the future looks a little grim. But we have our humanity. We have our spirit. And, we've been programmed to see the joy in everything in life and seeing the new possibilities. I mean, sometimes Marty wonders if he's a robot, if he's a man robot, programmed a certain way. It almost feels that way. Like our society and our government program us a certain way. But that's a different meditation, right? It's different meditation. So men, maybe in order to avoid that scary future, we need to take the risks now to approach the ladies out there, to be brazen, to be brave and courageous, to approach a woman and say, you know what? I'm going to approach you. I'm going to flirt with you. I'm going to engage in this lovely dance of the possibility of a relationship. And if they're not a nice person about it, well, then they're not a nice person. And that's their own problem. At least you were brave enough to confront that scary opportunity, right? You were brave and courageous enough to take that step. So be brave, be courageous. And if you're wondering how to approach ladies these days, Marty has his 6 tips and tricks for approaching women, okay? Maybe you could check that out. Get some tips and tricks and help you out. So men, maybe we can avoid this dystopian, scary future, right? Where there's lady robots who are soulless. And we can start to seek the real women out there that will make us feel valuable, that will fulfill us in many, many ways, more than any robot could. They're out there. But hashtag not all women. Hashtag not all women are cold, heartless, conniving, manipulative. Sorry. Marty went there, right? Marty's coming back. Not all women are cold, manipulative, heartless, conniving snakes that are out for your soul and... Sorry. Marty's taking this back. Thank you for joining Marty for this meditation today. He hopes you enjoyed it. Remember to like this video, subscribe to Marty's channel, hit that notification bell so you know when Marty releases new content. Become a martyr for manhood by visiting Marty's Patreon page, his PayPal account, or his Buy Me a Coffee account. Anything you could give is greatly appreciated. And for those of you who are already martyrs for manhood, thank you so much for being a supporter of Marty and his word. Marty's heart is full. He feels that. He loves you. He sends his gratitude to you in this moment. And until next time, I'll be here, waiting, ready to meditate. Not only that, but a robot goddess would have superhuman strength, so she would be able to protect Marty, right? And Marty would feel safe in her arms, right? And that'd be pretty nice, because Marty is a sensitive guy. Marty would love a lady who could protect him emotionally and physically. Marty's a feeler. Sorry, Marty was imagining being held by a strong, beautiful robot goddess, and he got carried away there for a second. He almost felt complete. Someday.